All right, it's the middle of April. I'm gonna take some video here, take a look at the orchard, and it's a little windy today, so hopefully everything comes across fairly well on the audio. If not, I apologize in advance. So we still have lots of blossoming action going on. So just from the overview, you can see that the pear, cherry, and the other pear are in full bloom. You can't really see the peach from here, but it's got the purple, or I'm sorry, the pink blossoms. Apricot's all done, just the green stuff. And then the apple, we'll get to that. So our pear here is looking beautifully gorgeous with all those white blossoms. And you can see that she's got all of the different, whole bunch of different things going on. So here's a cluster that's fully open. Here's another one. You can see that, let's find a good one here. This one here has it's one single, you can see how well you can see this right here. One single blossom or bud type thing. And when it popped open, it had these leaves all around the perimeter. And inside there's another leaf, and then all these flowers as well. So that's one little thing produces all that. Sometimes they're like this and they're a leaf bud, and it's just leaves. So you can see these are just the thin leaf buds. You can see where the leaves have opened up on some of them, but it has two different types, leaf buds and then leaf and flower buds. So anyway, those are opening up. Here you can see a leaf bud that's starting to open up, because the trees normally put their blossoms out first, so that way all the flowering or the pollinating insects can find them before the leaves get all in the way. And that's generally how it goes. So anyway, there's our pear tree looking good, our cherry tree looking gorgeous with all those lovely white blossoms, and it is starting to put out some green too. You'll notice from this back here you can see little spots of green, mainly up on the top there, where the very top you can see like all the little arms of white, and then the end poking out the green. So it looks kind of comical almost. I mean, look at all those white flowers all over the place, and each one of those, there's a honeybee right now pollinating. Anyway, each one of these flowers has the potential to become a cherry, which is lots and lots of cherries. So we're looking forward to that. And you can see there's the leaves starting to come out, lots of flowers, and some of the flowers are starting to get past their full bloom and just kind of start to fade away past their expiration date there. So, and you can see the wind kind of kicking around, and yeah, so it's looking good. There's lots and lots and lots of flowers, and it smells delicious too, which unfortunately you can't smell that. But anyway, that is the cherry tree. Now on to the apple. Have lots of changing in the apple tree blossom, or I should say its budding process, but it looks like there's not going to be very many apples at all this year. It looks like it's back defaulting to its what they call alternate bearing, and that was kind of its condition when we first got in here. There was no apples for a year, and then we had apples the past couple years. But what we've got, actually, I just noticed these just now, is so the leaves everywhere fluttering, but right up there's one blossom with the fruits, and over there is another. And that is all that I've seen. The rest, just back out here, green, just green. So you can see there and there. Other than that, I don't see any other fruit blossoms. So it looks like the apple tree decided to take the year off from producing fruit, and sometimes it just does that. So there's lots of buds, lots of leaves, but just only going to be 2 apples this year. So anyway, that's kind of sometimes what they do. We'll just look into that, but like I said, it's a condition that's common with apple trees, and with this one has done it as well. So we'll just have to research a little bit more into that. I thought that basically by pruning and thinning that we were going to control that, but looks like that is happening again. So anyway, there's our two blossoms, our two clusters of blossoms for this year. So it looks like it'll just take a year off, and that's how the breaks go sometimes. Anyway, here is our peach tree, and looking very good. You can see that its little flowers here are, most of them are at this type of stage where they're past, I think they call it shuck split, where the petals start to fall off, and it's just like the little filaments in there left. And so most of them are not very, they're past their expiration and they're starting to just fall off and fade. And so then we'll be able to see whether it gets pollinated or not, and whether there's going to be fruit forming. And there should be good fruit forming this year, but we'll see. And I just thought of one of the benefits of having the apple tree take a year off is that we don't have to worry about spraying for a whole year, because that is quite a chore. So anyway, the bright side, I guess. Anywho, the cherry looks good. The peach looks good. And then the pear, it's looking good, just same as its cousin over there, doing well. All the blossoms are up, leaves are out, doing fine. And then we're going to back up for the big boy at the end here, our apricot, with all of its massive limbs. And you can see, just from back here, you can see long limbs with little leaves at the little green shoots at the tip of the branches there. Hopefully you can see that. And that's kind of how it goes. And so if you look closely, if you can see it, there's little knobs on that, and those were all blossoms, and will potentially turn into fruit with the leaves at the end. So when we go in and look closer, we can see what is going on. So here we have, let's look at one of those ones we're looking at up there. Those little knobs that you see are all little potential apricots. Little tiny apricot fruits. At the tips are the leaves. So here's kind of one that's up close. You can see all the bumps and this, and all these ones you can kind of see if you look here. The little thing around it, that was the flowers. That was the petals. The petals have fallen off. This was the little filaments and stuff, and that's what's left over. So that little fruit ovary swells up. So all these little guys have the potential to become apricots, which would be a phenomenal harvest. But a lot of times we've had frost damage for the past 2 or 3 years, and haven't had any, so we will see what happens this year. But you can see some over here, much bigger, fatter, and you can see them, and that's what they look like. So we will see what has happened. We just never know. So anyway, those are the apricots. We've got bajillion of them, and we'll just see who makes it. And like I say, this little stuff on there, pull that off, you can see the fruit right there, little fuzzy fruit there. So anyway, we'll just have to see how it goes. And once again, that's the thing, it's out of our control, and we'll just see what happens. Just like with the apple tree not producing, maybe since it's taken a year off, the apricot tree will come through for us. We just never know. But anyway, so the big thing we've seen in review for the week is just the apricot fruit are starting to swell, the leaves are starting to come out, and then the other blossoms are going in full bloom. Peach is a little past that, and the apple tree is not going to be producing any fruit this year, just a couple of apples. So that's kind of what we've got this week, and we'll see what changes in the next week. Thanks for watching.